Welcome back to Empowerment in Illness, where we explore real stories of resilience and hope, bringing light to life with chronic illness. I'm your host, Gwen, and today's episode is one that I believe will truly resonate with many of you. Joining us is Nicky, someone who's recently begun a new chapter in her life after being diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Like many who face a chronic illness diagnosis, Nicky has experienced a whirlwind of emotions, challenges, and changes in her day-to-day life. But through it all, she's discovered strength, resilience, and even unexpected blessings along the way. Today, she's here to share her personal journey, from the early signs that led to her diagnosis to how she's learning to navigate life with rheumatoid arthritis. We'll hear about the physical and emotional hurdles, her treatment journey, and most importantly, how she's finding empowerment amidst the challenges. So whether you're living with a chronic condition yourself or supporting someone who is, this episode is for you. Let's dive into Nicky's story and learn how she's turning this difficult experience into a source of strength. Nicky, thank you so much for being here today and welcome to the show.
Hello.
I wanted to ask you, can you tell me what it was like when you were first diagnosed and when you noticed something was off?
Yeah, so I actually only got diagnosed 8 weeks ago with rheumatoid arthritis. But I've had many problems for many years and I've been struggling to try and find a doctor to actually listen to me. So yeah, it's been a bit of a journey, but I've eventually got diagnosed 8 weeks ago.
What led you to the doctor? Like what symptom you said, yes, I need to go and get this checked?
Yeah, so my whole adult life really, I've been suffering with, I can't control my body heat. I get so hot, like I'm cooking from the inside out. It's disgusting. I'm allergic to the sun, lots of joint pain, muscle pain, lots of symptoms. I get typical lupus rash.
So when you got your diagnosis, was it a surprise? Or were you prepared?
I was actually surprised because I thought it would be lupus, but it's rheumatoid, but they still think that possibly lupus as well.
So how have you been coping emotionally since you've gotten the diagnosis?
Yeah, I think that's been the hardest bit actually, because I think you get diagnosed and then you feel so poorly that you feel like you're grieving for your old self.
Absolutely.
It's been a struggle.
I dealt with that too.
I think emotionally, sometimes more than the physical symptoms, you know?
Exactly. So what is a typical day like today, now that you are managing rheumatoid arthritis? What is your routine like?
Well, I feel like since I've been on medication, like that's helped a lot. So I've been able to get back to work. I have only gone back part-time. And I feel like I can't do as much as I used to. So I've got to slow down, which is hard.
And what were some of the medications you're using?
I'm using sulfasaline and methotrexate. I've been on steroids as well.
Yeah, steroids are the best.
They're definitely magic.
What are some of your biggest challenges that you've faced now, whether it's physical, emotional?
Emotional, but also having to slow down. I found that the hardest thing for me is having to, I normally do everything fast forward, always on my feet, whereas I can't do that anymore. So that's definitely been the hardest, is to slow down.
Is it hard to walk?
It can be on days, yeah. I mean, there was a point 6 weeks ago I couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't brush my hair or get dressed. And I'm a hairdresser as well, so it's you're on your feet all the time. It's hard work.
So if you're doing someone else's hair, do you ever get like an attack or your fingers hurt?
So I've suffered with joint pain in my hands for probably 15 years. I remember going to doctors and the doctor told me that you're too young for arthritis.
Yeah, that's what they say, but that's not how you feel.
No, definitely not. There is days I can't work. I've just got to sort of play it by ear really and just see how I am on that day.
So which treatment or lifestyle change have you made that's working for you so far?
Slow down. You just got to slow down and listen to your body. Your body will tell you when you need to stop.
Do you rest a lot?
Before, I think I'd push myself through that, and then I'd end up doing too much and then you're suffering. So I think the best is to just listen to your body.
Is there something you wish you would have known before your diagnosis that could have helped you?
Well, I ended up going private in the end and seeing a private doctor and paying. I wish I'd done that sooner, rather than suffered all these years. I like to live with these things, you know.
Exactly.
To the point you actually stopped going doctors. You stopped because nobody listens to you anyway, you know.
Absolutely. What advice would you give someone who's newly diagnosed?
Do your research and get online and try and learn as much as you can about your diagnosis and get on some support groups.
Yeah. Do you have a big following on TikTok or social media?
Yeah, I do, and that's really helped me. You know, like, you're not the only one going through this. There's lots of other people that has helped support me as well.
So what is your outlook on your condition long term?
I try not to think about long term because that can be scary, can't it? I'm just taking each day as it comes, I guess, and I try and think that there's people worse off than myself.
And so your support group, you found your support group online. And how is your support group, your close family and friends?
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I've got a really good support network. I've got some good friends and good family. But I don't think it helps. Like, you still think you're a burden on people, like the days that you can't do nothing. But yeah, I would say get on some support groups and try and find other people going through the same thing as you.
How do you deal with depression? Because when we get a brand new diagnosis, it tends to make us feel something because we have to change our lifestyle. So how do you deal with depression?
Just keep talking to people. Like, you know, people will listen and try and get some advice of other people going through the same thing as you. So again, get onto some support groups.
Okay. Despite the challenges that you've had to face, what has been a silver lining or unexpected positive things that have come out of this diagnosis?
Again, the support I've got from you know, social media has been absolutely amazing. I'm
glad it's there because you're right. There's always someone on there that's being positive because I look for that.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, people that are going through the same things with their positive stories, that really helps.
So what does empowerment in illness mean to you now that you've started this journey?
Oh God, I've got brain fog again now.
That's okay. No. That's part of what we do, right? Sometimes
Definitely.
I have to write things down because if I don't, it'll go away. And I'm like, I had it. Like I had that thought. Where is it?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I think you've just got to be positive, and you know there is people worse off, and you've just got to, when you feel good, then do everything you want to do. You know.
Exactly. You can't give up. You have to continue to keep going, no matter what.
That's it.
Before we leave, I would like to close with a special portion of the show I call Healing Heartbeats. This is where we allow ourselves to wallow in sorrow. Give yourself 3 minutes to laugh, cry, scream, cuss, or just sit in silence. Whatever you need to do to feel it, do it. Let the depression end for only 3 minutes. Once you've reached 3 minutes, compartmentalize it and get back to living. This is a rinse and repeat behavior. You cannot let depression take over because when it does, it will not let go. When someone passes away, they have the day they were born and the day they passed away. There is a dash in the middle. It's not a long line, it's a short dash. That dash represents your life. Go live in spite of having a chronic illness. Don't let your condition stop you. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
As we wrap up today's episode, I want to take a moment to reflect on Nicky's incredible journey. From the uncertainty of her diagnosis to the daily challenges in living with rheumatoid arthritis, Nicky has shown us the true meaning of resilience. Her honesty about the ups and downs of this journey is not only inspiring, but a reminder that even in the face of chronic illness, there's always room for strength, growth, and empowerment. Nicky, thank you for sharing your story with us today. I want to welcome you to the Empowerment in Illness community. Your openness will undoubtedly resonate with many of our listeners. and I know your experience would offer hope and comfort to others navigating their own path with chronic illness. For those of you listening who have just been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and are in uncertain space of waiting for a possible lupus diagnosis, I want to acknowledge how difficult this time can be. The emotional weight of receiving one chronic illness diagnosis is already overwhelming, and waiting for another can feel like you're caught in a storm of uncertainty and fear. It's completely normal to feel anxiety. It's completely normal to feel anxious, frustrated, and even scared during this waiting period. But remember, you are stronger than you realize. While it may feel like life is out of your control right now, take things one day at a time. Focus on the small victories and lean on your support system, whether that's friends, family, or online communities. In the meantime, take care of your body and your mental health. Rest when you need to, and don't hesitate to seek out a healthcare provider or therapist to help you navigate this challenging time. You're not alone in this journey. So many others, like Nicky, have faced similar challenges, and through their experiences, we can find hope. Whatever the outcome of your diagnosis, know that you are resilient, and you will find a way to manage and even thrive despite these challenges. You've already shown great strength by facing what you've been through so far. Stay connected with others who understand. Be kind to yourself and keep moving forward one step at a time. To our listeners, remember that you are not alone in this. There's a community of people like Nicky who are facing their diagnosis head on, and together we can all find ways to empower ourselves in the journey. Thank you for tuning in to Empowerment in Illness. Until next time, remember, you have the strength, the heart, and the support to continue your journey. Be safe.